Samuel was dedicated to God's service from the very beginning. His mother Hannah promised God as much before Samuel was even born. When Samuel was still a youngster, his mother brought him to the temple and entrusted him to the care of Eli, the high priest. Samuel became an apprentice under Eli and learned many important lessons from him, including how to listen and respond to the words God spoke to him. Samuel became a trustworthy prophet, well respected by all the tribes of Israel. In the face of attacks and oppression by the Philistines, Samuel called the people to greater faithfulness. God heard the prayer of the people and drove back the Philistines. For many years, Samuel continued to speak God's words to the people of Israel and to serve as their judge. Eventually, the people became restless and decided that they wanted a leader who was wealthier and more powerful than Samuel. They wanted a king like other nations had. Samuel warned the people about the drawbacks of having a king, but they persisted. God was not particularly pleased with the idea, but he allowed the people to have what they wanted. God asked Samuel to anoint Saul as Israel's first king. Samuel continued to speak God's word to the people and to the new king, even though the word was not always welcome. And when God decided to appoint a new king, Samuel followed his instructions and anointed David, the youngest son of Jesse. As the biblical account takes up the story of David, Samuel fades from view. A single line reports that Samuel died and was buried in Ramah. Samuel is an inspiring example. When God asked Samuel to guide the tribes of Israel through some challenging times, Samuel stepped forward and did just that. And when God put someone else in charge, Samuel graciously stepped back and provided whatever assistance he could to the new leaders. Samuel was a faithful servant to God to the end.